sowas, ja, so bam, bam.
Hey, welcome back to another one. So there's one kind of video format online that I personally really like to watch, which are those day in the life videos of DPs, directors, or whatever else showing their work online. And honestly, that's something that I'm very interested in. And so I thought, why not to make something similar, just sharing my work to you guys. Something like a day in the life of a drone pilot. And on my last shooting, I brought my camera with me and shot some behind the scenes. I tried to get as many different angles. It was quite hard because I didn't bring a second shooter. But yeah, that's what I came up with, and just want to share some insights in my work, and I hope you enjoy that. So let's get started. Okay, so first of all, how did I came up with shoot? How did I get that shoot? And that all started with Tina reaching out to me. She's a marketing manager and she also works at that company, and the plan for that was just to shoot a promotional video, and my job on that whole thing was just to fly around the building and land over on the terrace. So before that whole shoot took place, we had to go to the shooting location, and so we decided to get together there, and Tina was so kind and invited me in her Tesla, and it was actually the second time in my life riding or being in a Tesla, and yeah, that was quite much fun. So we got there quite fast, and we also got the opportunity to talk about things that we probably wouldn't have talked on the shooting or during the shoot. So if you ever get the opportunity to do a share ride or something like that while going on a shoot, just do that, because you get a lot of time talking to other people in the car. And yeah, that is just something that I really recommend you if you ever get the opportunity to. We talked about so many different things, so many business things, and also I think that probably ends up just getting another job, and that's something that I personally really like, just connecting with other people, especially if you have the opportunity to, just do it.
Du musst jetzt da durchfliegen und dann sind die Autos weg und wir müssen es weiterfahren.
Ja.
Das ist immer dann so, vorher wird so, okay, ja passt,
Genau.
sei um 10 in circa da, dann kommst du dann eher so, ja.
Anyways, we went there, just 1 hour ride, and then we arrived at the shooting location. And yeah, before we started the drone, I had to do some things in the app to make sure that I'm allowed to fly there, and also it wasn't really hard to get a permission there. I thought it would be, but it wasn't even that hard, and also I just decided to fly a Super 250 gram drone, which ended up being a good idea. And also I usually just fly those kind of drones when flying in a city or close to people, just because it is much safer and I don't want to risk the life of anyone. Yeah, that's just something that you should keep in mind. But anyways, so we went inside the building and we met up with Sabine. She managed the whole thing, or basically she got the idea, and the whole thing is managed by Tina, but they talk to each other and just share ideas, so they get a better result by the end. Then we went inside and went onto the terrace, and that is actually the place where they take over to another camera. We tried to find a spot where I could stay during the flight without being in the shot afterwards and still having a good connection when I'm flying through the garden that you're going to see later on. So we found a spot where I could stand, which was right in the corner of the terrace, and then it was already time to do my first test flight with the drone. So basically what I did is I did the first test flight just trying to find out where to go, and I also connected my smartphone to my FPV goggles to give the client, which was Tina and Sabine, a better insight in that whole thing and to show them how it's going to look in the end. That is something that I always do. Just when I shoot for a client, I always give him my smartphone, and then they're able to watch or see what I'm going to do there. Then I placed my drone on the terrace, started it, flew over the building, and started the line that we planned before, which was quite stressful in the beginning because I always got that telemetry lost warning on my radio, or I guess it was another warning, but anything that was quite similar to that. And then we checked if that is everything, how they want that and how they imagine the shot to be, and they were quite happy with that. So I put on the GoPro and just did another flight, and it ended up being like, I guess, 2 or 3 flights until we got that shot, also because I personally wanted to change some things, because there is that AMS logo of their company, and I wanted to go like straight onto that logo, then up on the rooftop and down in the garden. And when I went down to the garden, it was like the sun came from like pretty high, and I always had the shadow of the drone in my shot, so I had to change something there, and so I flew another route through the garden.
War die andere, genau, was Kilometer hoch, 3 Meter hoch, haben die auf meinen Bein und habe richtig Angst, dass es kaputt macht, weißt du? Nein, die kannst nicht kaputt machen. Okay, das müsste sein, schauen wir uns das mal an.
It ended up being a great shot, and they were quite happy, and I also instantly put out the SD card and switched onto my Mac to see if everything works well, because especially on that small drones you have a lot of vibrations, and I always like to check in real steady or in gyro flow if the final result is actually like wobbly free and like super stable, just to make sure to check that before you leave the shooting location, so you don't miss that. And yet there was one problem they wanted to get rid of, but we couldn't even get rid of because we needed to get that shoot done before 12 p.m. just because then there were a lot of people arriving at that spot, and it would be quite hard to do that after 12 p.m. And so the problem we had was actually that in the garden behind the building there was a lot of shadows, and they didn't really like it, but I told them that you are able to lift up the shadows in the editing program to get a clean result of that. I mean, it's not the best, but also we couldn't do anything about that just because we couldn't wait until 12 p.m. And so I opened the Winch Resolve and showed that to them. It wasn't even my part editing that whole project, but I just showed them that you are able to lift the shadows and get a clean result. Anyways, that was basically everything for that shoot, and then I already left the location because I had to get back home. I had another thing to do. So for all those who are going to ask me now, how much did I charge for that project? I'm not able to tell you exactly what I charge for that kind of project, just because I want to get that not out there and get some future clients telling me, yeah, you mentioned your project in that video and that costed like 800 euros, for example, and why do you charge 1.5k for us? So I don't want that. But what I can tell you is that it's something between 500 and 1.5k. So try to guess, leave a comment, and probably I like it if it's true. But yeah, anyways, we went home, and again, we managed to discuss about so many different things, and that's just what I love about connecting with people, just to get known each other so well and just enjoy also having some insights in other people's work. Okay, so that's basically everything on that shoot. Hope you enjoyed that. The only thing I did after that when I came back home is that I stabilized that footage in 4x3 in Gyroflow. I recently switched over to Gyroflow just because I think with the new GoPros you get a better result in Gyroflow, and so I switched over to Gyroflow and stabilized that footage in there, and then I sent it over to the client so they could start editing that video on the next following day. And yeah, that was basically everything I had to do in that shoot. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that short insight in my work. I would really appreciate if you comment some words down below, and also comment if you want to see a part 2 of that, just because I plan on doing one, and also probably give you some more insights, give you some more footage, talking about more things. But I just want to know if you are interested in something like that. And also comment some video ideas down below, just that I see them. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you in the next one. So, bye.